What is up guys, Jarv here, back today jumping into Destiny 2. Now in today's video we're taking a look at 10 secrets that you may have missed in the Witch Queen reveal. Now there was a lot of information to take in, so if you want to make sure you haven't missed a thing, be sure to stick around and enjoy the video. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a comment and rating down below, and remember to subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. Just over 80% of the viewers on the channel aren't currently subscribed, so be sure to hit that red button and ring that bell to make sure you don't miss an update. But with that all being said, let's jump into the video. Now before we jump into the meat of today's video, I want to first invite you all to the Jarv Community Hub. This is our fast growing community Discord with nearly 7,000 incredible Guardians. So if you'd like to talk about Destiny, share your god roles, or more importantly get those fire teams together to get things done, then be sure to jump in. It's available to absolutely everyone, and the link to the community Discord can be found down in the video description below. Now with the Witch Queen reveal, we got a great trailer and some gameplay footage too. We got a good insight of what the DLC looks like, but more importantly the future of Destiny 2 as a whole. Now throughout the reveal we learn that the new location for the Witch Queen is Savathun's throne world. Now during the trailer you can see the Guardian activating what looks like a patrol beacon, as well as a tracker on his arm which looks like a watch. Now during this part of the trailer it flicks between the Guardians and Ikora, who seems to be tracking their location. Now it's with that in mind, it's very apparent that Ikora and the Guardians aren't in the same location, and we'll talk more about Ikora's location later in the video. Now it appears Ikora is stood in front of a storyboard, and if you take a closer look there's a very familiar map that we can see on here. And if we overlap the Dreaming City, we can see that Ikora is tracking their location to what looks like the confluence over in the Dreaming City. The beacon is blinking over the Shattered Throne, which is Mara Sar's throne world. Now with Season 15 only just underway, a lot can happen between now and the end of the season when it comes to the Dreaming City. But if the Dreaming City falls by the end of the season, then it makes sense for Savathun to potentially use this as part of her own throne world. Now this brings us nicely onto the second secret inside this trailer, and it's once again located on this storyboard. Whenever we have a throne world, we need a way of accessing that. If we have a look over here, there's another familiar map that if we overlap, the Mars map from Destiny 1 is bang on identical. We even have the strike icons, as well as Phobos, the moon for Mars itself. Could we be returning to Mars in Destiny 1 as a way of accessing Savathun's throne world? It's entirely possible. It forms part of this storyboard, but be sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now as well as this storyboard, we also have another nod towards returning to Mars from Destiny 1, and this is the location of the Witch Queen icon on our current director. If you open your director right now, you can see this just on the left side of the map. If we have a look at one of the old directors, this is a similar location to the original Mars location inside Destiny 2. Now this could be entirely a coincidence, as there's not much room on the director as things stand, or it's entirely intentional and is another nod towards another location, potentially returning in part for Witch Queen itself. Now during the trailer we get a sneaky peek of a broken down pyramid ship inside Savathun's throne world. Now Bungie have since confirmed this as the location for the up and coming raid. So among the swamps of Savathun's throne world lies this sunken pyramid ship, and along with our fire team we need to venture inwards and confront the ancient danger imprisoned within. Now alongside the trailer we also got a press pack, and we get some additional images of the pyramid ship. Now alongside the raid that's taking place inside the pyramid, we also have weapon crafting being introduced with the Witch Queen. Now due to some of the images that were released, it was speculated that weapon crafting would take place inside the pyramid as well. However, this doesn't appear to be the case. Now there are additional images inside the press pack of a Scorn temple. So as well as Hive and potentially Taken inside this throne world, will be taking on Scorn as well. And ever since the launch of Season of the Lost, both Taken and Scorn are wielding stasis, so fully expect their abilities to further evolve with the launch of the Witch Queen. Now as well as the image of the Scorn temple from the outside, we have additional images of the inside of the weapon crafting that takes place inside this temple. And as we can see, whilst the aesthetic is similar to the pyramid, it's entirely unique too. So whilst the location of this temple is probably very close, as we can see from some of the images, to the pyramid, it's an entirely separate area altogether, and will be the main focus for any weapon crafting that takes place from Season 16 onwards. Now moving on, we have the potential spotting of Xivu Arath. Now inside the reveal stream there's a couple of statues in the background of the gameplay, and there's a statue in particular that really stands out. Now if we pause the footage right here, we can see a massive Hive Knight wielding a sword. As well as this, we have some very squared off shoulders and a unique jaw which is actually separated into two. Now if we jump back to Season of the Hunt and look at the Wild Hunt bond specifically and the lore on that item, the second half of that lore mentions a lone figure that stood out on the terrace between two empty thrones. Now this host had mouths that split down the center line of its form, and it screamed with countless voices. Now the lore piece is a potential reference to Xivu Arath, and with the description matching the statue that we can see inside this throne world, it's entirely possible that this could be the first spotting of Xivu Arath. But be sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now next up we move on to the new seasonal activity for Season 16 called Conflict Eternal. Now this is a new 6-player match-made activity at the heart of the ongoing struggle inside the throne world, where the balance must be maintained. Now if we have a look at the press pack folders, we can actually see that the screenshot for this particular activity is actually titled Override. Now as we know, Override was introduced in Season of the Splicer and saw us using Fallen technology to splice inside the Vex network. Now whilst we're not likely to be splicing inside the Vex network, with a reference to Override and the ongoing struggle inside the throne world and the mentioning that the balance must be maintained, then it could be possible that we may see the return of moats for a 6-player match-made activity. A great example of this in-game right now is a Prophecy dungeon, where you have to collect light and dark moats to maintain balance and successfully achieve mechanics to complete parts of that dungeon. Would you like to see moats return for a 6-player activity? Or am I barking up the wrong tree entirely? Anything is possible at this point, but as always, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Now next up we move on to Void 2.0, and we get a sneaky preview as some of the changes come to the Void subclass in Season 16. The first clip shows a Warlock throwing what looks like a Void Incendiary grenade, and when dropping a Rift, you get that Void Tracer heading out towards the Wizard out in front. We also have the ranged Void melee attack being introduced in Season 16. Now as for the Hunter, you're able to Shatter Dive on the Void subclass, and this will debuff and blind nearby enemies. And shortly after this, the Hunter throws a Scatter Grenade to defeat all the Acolytes in the area. These are all brand new and unique to these classes, and gives us a sneaky peek of some of the changes coming to Void 2.0 in the Witch Queen in February 2022. And the final secret we're covering in this video is the Shrine of Savathun. This is actually in the Season of the Lost trailer and appears for just a matter of frames. Now we know this appears to be a shrine due to it being very similar to the Shrine of Oryx that you can find over on the moon. Now in terms of the location, the Shrine of Savathun is likely to be inside the Shattered Realm. We are currently in week 2 of what appears to be a rotation of 3 for these particular activities. As well as having the Earth-based realm, as well as the Tangled Shore-based realm, we also have one sit over on the moon with what looks like a Dreadnought 2. Now just outside the Dreadnought, there's also an Ascendant Portal. This is very reminiscent of the portal out in the Hellmouth, once again over on the moon, that forms part of the public event. So it's likely after activating a beacon, we may need to defeat a knight that comes out of this portal prior to entering the Dreadnought itself. Now with Oryx having his own shrine and throne world, and Savathun's throne world being part of the Witch Queen, we were always going to discover her own shrine eventually. It seems we're going to find it in Season of the Lost, and we've seen it already, albeit for only 2 frames in the actual seasonal trailer. Could it be something we stumble upon next week upon the weekly reset? Be sure to stay stuck to the channel and we'll keep you up to date. So there we have it guys, a good look at all the secrets in the Witch Queen trailer and reveal that you may have missed. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to check out one of the 2 videos you see here in these cards for further Destiny 2 content. And if you want to keep up to date with everything to do with Destiny 2, be sure to hit subscribe as well. I'm going to jump back into the game as always guys, and I will catch you all again very soon.